7-1. Shockingly, they lost their opener here to the University of New Orleans, but then have won each of the last two in convincing fashion. Michigan blew out Oakland in their first game, then got a scare and escaped with a win over Wake Forest in Detroit Tuesday night. Opening tap controlled by the Michigan Wolverines wearing the navy blue. Here is Adai Mara, the 7'3" transfer from UCLA. Shot clock down to 10. Elliot Cadeau. Cadeau gets the flyby. Pass broken up and knocked away. The steal by Xavier Edmonds for TCU.
A terrific first possession for TCU on the defensive end. Jaden Pierre's got 2 years of Big East experience at Providence. He's key tonight.
Corner three, Brock Harding. And a long rebound. Here comes Elliot Cadeau, the North Carolina transfer for Michigan. Skip pass to the corner. And a three by Yaxel Lindeborg.
Well, the transfer from UAB, Roxy, he's taken 18 shots this year, 11 from behind the arc.
On the drive, Harding the kick out. The shot clock down to 10 for TCU. Jaden Pierre fires from deep. Way off, and the long rebound grabbed by the Horned Frogs. And a foul and a push called on Morez Johnson Jr. of Michigan as Dusty May begins year 2 in Ann Arbor.
He looks like your next door neighbor, but he is a killer. Highly competitive, great job at Florida Atlantic, FAU, and in his second year, he is a rising star.
Went to the Final Four at FAU a couple of years ago.
Got to attack this guy.
Deep three on the way. And the rebound lost and then controlled by Adai Mara for Michigan.
Roxy, you know how I feel. You have to go at the shot blocker. You cannot be afraid of him. You've got to try to get him in foul trouble.
There's Lindeborg up top. Mara, and the double team comes quickly at the 7'3" Adai Mara, who traveled down low. Jamie Dixon, 10th season at his alma mater, TCU, over 500 career wins for Jamie Dixon, 3 Sweet 16 appearances. He's been to an Elite Eight, 15 NCAA tournaments in all.
There's only 9 active coaches that have done what you just said, and 4 of them are Hall of Famers.
Here's a three. On the way, and a good sign for the Horned Frogs.
Oh,
Latoris Lelavicius.
Man, do they need that. He has been in a major early season slump, but his history tells you he could shoot that 3 ball.
He was just 2 for 15 from deep prior to that May, who had a solid season for Wayne Tinkle at Oregon State last year. Dump it inside to Mara. Adai Mara draws the foul. We'll get to the line.
Nice set play here. Watch the back screen by how do I say that? Lelavicius. And then he comes back around for the handoff. I should know that. He's Lithuanian. Lelavicius.
You're the international man of mystery, friend.
I practiced that all afternoon, man.
Adai Mara, 2 shots. 2 for 4 to the first 2 games in the line for the 7'3" junior from Spain, who was the tallest player in Michigan history.
He was a young prodigy coming out of Spain a couple of years ago. Some compare here to Pau Gasol. And so far, so good in his early Michigan career.
Here is Brock Harding bringing it up for TCU.
Now what Michigan will do defensively, they'll switch at 4 spots and they'll keep the big fella home as the rim protector.
High post to David Punch. Shot clock inside 5. Xavier Edmonds spinning. Edmonds over Adimara.
Now the #1 JUCO player in the country a year ago can put the ball in the basket. Take a look now. Mara comes really close to getting this. Clock getting low. Terrific fadeaway for the young man from SoCal.
And the Michigan turnover by Roddy Gale Jr.
Well, Lindeborg guarding Harding, the point guard. 6'8", 6 feet.
Pull up. Harding the stroke. Three-point TCU lead here in the early stages. Horned Frogs have made their last 3.
Oh, there's a foul. Oh, man. Mara threw an elbow inadvertently, but he caught the big fella.
And a steal. Latoris Melavicius picks it up for the Horned Frogs.
Well, TCU has delivered the first punch in this fight.
The floater and the miss from Jaden Pierre, and the rebound grabbed by Axel Lindeborg for Michigan. And a foul trying to split the double team is Elliot Cadeau. And it's on TCU. 3-point lead.
Are they going to be able to play different styles throughout the season? This non-conference schedule will determine what we see from Michigan in January and February in the Big Ten.
We're getting tested here in Fort Worth tonight, but going through what they went through Tuesday, surviving an overtime game against Wade, how much can that help that team grow, considering there's so many new parts?
The next day at practice, you're coming off a win instead of a loss, and that matters a lot. They learned, and yet they still won.
Down the lane, the block shot. Vianney Salachum sends it back. The transfer from FIU. Here is Elliot Cadeau. Shot clock rolling down on Michigan. Block shot again by Salachum. And it's out of bounds. Another Michigan turnover. That's 5 turnovers within the first 5 minutes for the Wolverines.
And if you're a Michigan fan, you know this was a huge bugaboo a year ago. They turned it over once every 5 possessions a year ago. 324th in the country. It's a concern of Dusty Mays, and it's reared its head early in this game. Lindeborg still guarding the point guard. Very interesting.
Fumbled away by Brock Harding. Here comes Michigan in transition. A pull-up 3. And that's off from Roddy Gale Jr. Offensive rebound, and Lindeborg pulls it out for Michigan.
I want to see Yaxel Lindeborg attack the glass tonight.
Foul on David Punch of TCU. You'll see all night both coaches substituting freely. Both teams are deep. So a 7-4 lead for TCU. Jake Kingston off the bench for Michigan. Freshman Trey McKinney.
Really, really good defense so far by the Frogs.
Another Michigan turnover.
Yeah, this is something that's going to have to be corrected this season.
Welcome those of you just joining us to Schollmeyer Arena, Fort Worth, Texas. Big 12 against the Big 10. Here tonight in Fort Worth, along with Fran Fraschilla and our ESPN crew, Roxy Bernstein with you. An early 7-4 lead for TCU against number 6 Michigan. Off balance and one. Count it, Tanner Toolson for TCU.
I love the idea that he took it right to the defender. You don't baby this ball in the lane against a team that's bigger than you. And Toolson, who's got a lot of experience, transfer from BYU first, Utah Valley. Of course, his dad was an outstanding player at BYU. I got a chance to meet Andy tonight, former Utah Jazz player. But this kid brings toughness.
And the ability to score the basketball for Jamie Dixon, the and one free throw, and an early 6-point lead for TCU. The problem for Michigan, if you're just joining us, the first 6 minutes, they've turned it over 6 times already.
Yeah, I'm surprised that TCU is going to always defend you. This is unbelievable that Michigan, a team with this talent, who turned it over a ton last year, has had this much difficulty in the early going.
They turned it over just 12.5 times in their first 2 games. And the games against Oakland and Wake Forest. Jace Posey in the lane. Tanner Toolson. And a good look, and the rebound ripped down. Morez Johnson Jr. Here comes Michigan. Roddy Gale Jr. on the drive, and the finish at the rim. Morez Johnson Jr.
Great ball movement. They got that ball up the court quickly, and Morez just ran coast to coast right down the middle of the lane.
Transition game so critical to what Michigan does and what Jamie Dixon is trying to take away from the Wolverines tonight. Loose ball, diving for it. Morez Johnson Jr. has it. Here come the Wolverines. Driving. Roddy Gale Jr. draws a foul. Will get to the line.
Jamie Dixon talked about transition. Take a look right here. You got to get back. Great outlet by Morez up the sideline, and watch Morez come back into your picture right here. Excellent hustle by the big fella, the transfer from Illinois. Nice look by Roddy Gale.
2 shots for Roddy Gale Jr. And the first one is good for the Ohio State transfer. One more coming, and the foul was on Micah Robinson of TCU. Michigan 2-0 with a record-setting performance against Oakland in their opener, where they tied a school record. They made 19 threes against Greg Campy's team in the opening game, shooting 64%. They had 31 assists in that game and just 8 turnovers.
Yeah, the great thing about that game is Oakland played 40 minutes of zone, so it was really a good opportunity for Michigan to really share the ball.
The lob, that's broken up, recovered by Jaden Pierre for TCU. Still 10 to shoot. Pierre, deep 3, banks it in! You think he meant to do that?
Absolutely not. You think he cares?
Absolutely not.
Yep.
Stays with Michigan.
Well, Pierre gets a good look at it. At least it's straight on. Take a look. Comes off, pulls it up. It's long, but long and straight. Better than on target, on the rim, and crooked, I should say.
Second 3 for TCU. LJ Kaysen forced way out.
Yeah, they're really hedging hard on those ball screens.
Here's a 3 on the way, short from Trey McKinney. The tip kept alive on the offensive glass. Batted around, Michigan controls. Here's LJ Kaysen from deep. And the rebound there is Tanner Toolson for TCU. Micah Robinson, 3!
That sophomore is going to be a tremendous player here. Off to a great start already this season.
On the drive, and aggressively to the basket goes Roddy Gale Jr. and a foul called on TCU.
Roxy, when the bully comes into the neighborhood, you have to deliver the first punch. TCU's done that tonight. Excellent defense, but knocking down shots will not hurt either. This is going to be fun in Fort Worth. Michigan in the offseason. It looked like they had cured the ills in the first couple of games, but early tonight, it has reared its ugly head. Just really good defense. Got to give TCU a lot of credit, but very sloppy play from a team that's not going to be able to do this at the level they want to get to throughout the year.
And through the first two games, Michigan averaging over 100 points a game. They put up 121 against Oakland in the opener. It was the most they've ever scored in an opening game. And then in that overtime thriller, put up 85 against Wake. They have just 8, and we played 8.5 minutes. And one more coming for Roddy Gale Jr., and we mentioned that Oakland game in the opener. Record-setting night for Dusty May's team.
I mentioned Oakland plays all zone, so it was almost like a 40-minute practice of how to move the ball, and they did a great job, obviously.
Roddy Gale Jr. now 4 for 4 from the line. Here's a little pressure for Michigan full court.
They're going to have to change the tempo a little bit. One thing that's been impressive for TCU early is they're making shots.
That's the best cure to transition defense.
It makes you a really good coach.
A lot harder to run when you're taking the basketball out of the hoop. And the rebound to Mara. Here comes Michigan.
Well, they've got a mismatch inside.
Mara's got a foot on Brock Harding and then some.
A good switch back now.
Shot clock down to 10. LJ Kasich in the lane. Tough step back. And that's blocked by Xavier Edmonds. And a kick, and they'll go back to 20 on the shot clock. It'll stay with Michigan.
That's a good break for the Wolverines, but excellent defense again. Good challenge by Edmonds, who's got one foul. He doesn't want to pick up a second. Hands part of the ball, folks, so that's not a foul. But Wolverines get a little break there with the reset of the shot clock.
Highlighted the block shots in the open of Mara through the first couple of games. TCU's got 3 already tonight. Michigan still looking for their first. Roddy Gale Jr. in the paint. The lob for Mara, who gets undercut, and that's a foul on TCU.
That's going to be a weapon all season for Michigan. Roddy Gale, Kason. Of course, Cadeau is an expert at throwing that lob. We saw that at North Carolina.
Second foul on Micah Robinson. Mara at the line, 1 for 2 so far tonight.
Rodney, the most important guy defensively for TCU right now is Edmonds, because he's got one. They need him out there. He can't commit a silly second foul. Robinson's going to take a seat for a while. Guarding Mara is critical tonight.
Top 20 teams highlight Sunday women's college basketball. Number 10, NC State hosting Mark Campbell's 17th ranked TCU Horned Frogs have won Eastern. And then we head to Little John Coliseum as number 22 Louisville takes on Clemson. You can also catch both games on the all-new ESPN app. What a job Mark Campbell's done here with the TCU women.
Yes, he has. I'm looking at Mara out there. Mark Campbell's got 4 young ladies 6'7" or taller. And of course, Olivia Miles, the transfer from Notre Dame, is off to a phenomenal start, as everybody expected. And Wes Moore has they've got a young team in the front court, but you know he's going to have his fullback ready.
Clock at 10. Brock Harding leans in. And the rebound grab by Michigan, they're running. Trey McKinney in transition. Gets to the basket, and he's fouled. The second on Latoris Lelavicius at TCU.
I love this freshman, Trey McKinney. Out of Flint, Michigan, top 25. He's a linebacker. What do I describe him? He's a junkyard dog defensively with terrific offensive skills. Tailor-made for Dusty May's club.
Former Michigan Mr. Basketball. Some great Wolverines over the years have won that. Guys like Chris Webber, Tractor Trailer.
Yep, no question.
Antoine Jobert, remember him?
I sure do. You're talking my era, buddy. I'm a former Buckeye. I know all those guys. Terry Mills, Sean Higgins, Will Robinson, Lloyd Vaught, Mark Hughes. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, please.
Oh, man. Just an aside, 88, 89, I was in the Big Ten, 27 NBA players. And that's when guys stayed 3 and 4 years. Michigan had 7 NBA players on that team.
Trey McKinney hits both, and it chops the TCU lead down to 3. They had 7 on that team he coached. Mills, Higgins, Vaught.
God, yeah, Mark Hughes, you know, yeah, Glenn Rice. You know, the Flying Illini weren't bad. Both of those teams went to the Final Four. Lendeborg still guarding the point guard, although they do switch at 4 spots.
Too strong as David Punch missed everything with a shot. Here comes Michigan. And they give it away again. Leads to a 2-on-1. Back the other way. Tanner Toolson.
Great drop off by Harding. He made the defender commit to him and then dropped it off nicely.
Toolson leads TCU at 5 off the bench. Inside 10 to shoot. Will Cheddar from deep. And the rebound falls to Brock Harding for the Horned Frogs. Harding. Pull up. Rattles in. Michigan quickly. Back the other way, but lost out of bounds by Damari Burnett.
Let's go back and watch this. You want to talk about a 2-on-1. This is old school basketball, folks. Make the defender commit, drop off. Perfectly done.
It also helps when the trailer could do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
9 Michigan turnovers.
Tell you, this is a great test for a Wolverine team. I'm convinced can be a Final Four team. They're certainly not playing like it right now.
What's it like that first road game of the season, especially with so many new guys for Dusty May?
Well, I think it's a double whammy because this is not a veteran team in terms of playing together for so long. They haven't. This is like junior college basketball with so many transfers.
Even though guys like Lendeborg, Marr are upperclassmen, but they haven't played together.
Haven't played together and been through adversity together.
Marr double down low. Whips it across. Yaxel Lendeborg. And the long rebound, Brock Harding for the Frogs. They're running. And a foul will send David Punch to the foul line for TCU.
I still keep looking at Edmonds and telling myself if I'm coaching TCU, don't foul Mara. Make him pass out of the double team because we don't need you, if I was the TCU coach, on the bench with 2. And he's doing a good job of just being solid defensively without gambling.
First on Elliot Cadeau. David Punch, 2 for 5 from the line so far this season. Sophomore. This is the first one. Fast break opportunities, something that has been very kind over the years to Jamie Dixon.
Absolutely. You see #1 in the country for 2 years. Last year, in a tough year, 16 and 16, not quite the same zest in the transition game, but tonight we're seeing them getting out and running against a good team.
Punch splits the pair. TCU has matched their largest lead. First point of the night for David Punch. He's one of 5 Horned Frogs averaging double figures coming into this ball game tonight. Whereas Johnson, Jr. double. Elliot Cadeau. And the rebound tip free. Will Cheddar grabs it for the Wolverines.
Good ball movement. Great job by Damari Burnett to keep it alive.
He attacks,
nice.
Gets to the basket, and rolls in.
Nice.
First points for Damari Burnett.
Yeah, former McDonald's All-American. He started his career at Texas Tech. He had a stop off in Tuscaloosa. In talking to the coaching staff, he's really become a Michigan man.
Third year with the Wolverines.
Yeah, no longer the star that maybe some expected, but just a great team player. Nope, not his shot.
Way off that time from Vianney Salacha.
Now he's a defensive player. He needs to put that shot in his back pocket.
Attack it, and nice. Foul, and it goes! Yaxel Lendeborg for Michigan.
And I think what happened, Rox, was that I was blocked out, but it looked like Johnson was sealing his man off, and so there was no rotation. Great job by Lendeborg to get out and run.
4-point lead for TCU, just over 7 minutes to go.
By that I mean all 5 guys are ready to get to the ball side, and the offensive player basically sees 5 white jerseys. They've also done a great job of defending the post tonight. The 7'3" Mara has been the invisible man so far, and it's not easy to make a big guy disappear, Roxy.
Yaxel Lendeborg leads Michigan with 6.
Me and you, we disappear easily.
We just look up. Deep 3 on the way, and that one rims out for Jaden Pierre. Pulled down, here comes Michigan, and it's Yaxel Lendeborg pushing it.
Remember I told you, you look like a good coach when you're making shots? TCU not making a lot of shots the last few possessions.
And now a foul called against the Frogs.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I hope this is, it's okay, it's on Pierre, so it's good that Edmonds did not commit that foul. If you're gonna be a guy that's double teaming the post and you're 6'1", you don't want to foul because you're really not a factor in the double team anyway.
9 team fouls against TCU. And a 1-and-1 for Morez Johnson. Transfer from Illinois. Johnson so far 2 points tonight. Average 17 to the first 2. And it rattles out, missing the front end of the 1-and-1.
Michigan's defense has really toughened up here the last few possessions.
They are getting to the foul line with all the turnovers. Michigan has already shot 12 free throws. On the drive, baseline, and coming over, the help from Morez Johnson Jr.
This is a guy that, when we talk about the under-19 world champion USA team, we know Koa Pete and A.J. DeBancer were big factors, but this guy was as big as anybody, and as a freshman in college, he was the veteran on that team. I remember the semifinals against Canada, he really saved USA's bacon. He is a tough, hard-nosed, low-post guy out of Chicago.
And a timeout taken by TCU in danger of a 5-second call, and a 30-second timeout for the Frogs. 3-point lead, 7 on the timer coming back to TCU. A great nightcap to our doubleheader of men's college hoops on ESPN2. We'll take you to the desert next. Graham Ike and number 19 Gonzaga taking on Bobby Hurley's ASU Sun Devils. It's also available on the ESPN app. Boy, Gonzaga looks awfully good the first couple of games. They blew out both Oklahoma and Creighton.
Those guys were older than at least 5 NBA teams.
Pierre, nice. And the block from Yaxel Lendeborg, and there's 3 on the shot clock for TCU.
We've seen the terrific athleticism of Johnson and now Lendeborg, the UAB transfer. And he's a great story. He basically didn't play high school basketball. He played 11 games at the end of his senior year because of academics. JUCO, UAB, and now maybe an NBA pick.
Off the inbound and an offensive foul. A clear out called on Xavier Edmonds, his second foul with 6:13 left in the half.
That's what we've been talking about. TCU needs him on the court, and you'll see this. He extends the arm, and this is what I've talked about. You can't do that. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Cadeau did that in the game against Wake Forest, grabbing the guy's arm. They missed it, and that's fine. Good crew, they missed it. But Cadeau did this, and I love Cadeau. He did the same thing to a big guy at Wake Forest, and that time Edmonds, trying to free himself, was a little too over-aggressive.
That foul, even though that's not a shooting foul, but it puts Michigan into the double bonus for the rest of the half.
And I would go inside as much as I could. I like this.
Attacking, and the floater, Yaxel Lendeborg for Michigan.
Yeah.
We've got a one-point game.
I'll tell you, unless you have an open three, if you're Michigan, go to the basket and utilize that size.
Go back, go! Fast!
Corner, three on the way. And it's off the heel of the rim from David Punch. Will stay at this end, Tommy Johnson with the foul on Michigan, and it's against Roddy Gale Jr.
Roddy Gale was trying to keep the big guy off the glass. Little extracurricular activity right there. This is what I talked about with Michigan. Morrow was terrific against Wake Forest. This is a better game tonight for Lendeborg and Johnson because of the athleticism of TCU.
Marty cut off underneath. David Punch. Deep three by Jace Posey. And the rebound, a good box out by Michigan. LJ Kaysen takes it for the Wolverines. Left open in transition. And a three, too strong from Elliot Cadeau. Here comes Jaden Pierre back the other way. The lob, and too high for Posey, believe it or not. Incredibly athletic, who's also a high jumper on the TCU track team. His dad, a longtime NBA player. Cadeau again from deep. Gets that one to go, and Michigan takes the lead.
Love Cadeau's confidence. He missed one about 40 seconds ago. Didn't hesitate. Great playmaker.
10-0 run for the Wolverines.
Good kick out by Roddy Gale. Cadeau, a more confident shooter, maybe than he was at North Carolina. And a great looking stroke right there from the young man from West Orange, New Jersey, who I think could lead the country in assists or be in the top 5. He's that good a playmaker.
He's averaged 9.5 assists in the first couple of games. Cadeau only has 1 so far tonight. But he's part of this great transfer class that Dusty May has assembled. Some big-time talent replenishing this Michigan roster.
But especially on the front line, as I talked about, what Dusty May is trying to figure out game to game is what my best lineups are. And without Mara, they're making this run. And what it is, it's a great sign for Michigan because throughout the season, they're going to be able to play big. They're going to be able to play athletic. They got shooters, they got depth. And he told us last night he still doesn't know his team, even though he loves the talent.
When you had basically a new roster, so many new guys, was there a time frame? How long did it take your teams, in your eyes, to gel?
You know, this is all new territory. Because most of the teams I coached, we had 5, 6, 7 guys back every year. Just like everybody else in college basketball. This is like coaching junior college.
Shot clock pulled down. Elliot Cadeau has it for Michigan. And the Horned Frogs struggling now offensively. Attacking the basket. And a foul going for the rebound, and we're going the other way. It's the second on Yaxel Lendeborg of Michigan. TCU, the drought offensively. They have not scored, Fran, now in over 4 minutes. They've missed their last 8 shots and just 2 for their last 13.
Here's what I would do. I'm not shooting jumpers the next couple of possessions. Like, I know they got shot blockers. Mara's back in. You must go to the basket. You're in the bonus now. You're going to shoot free throws. And actually, you're not in the bonus yet, but you got one more. But you got to go to the basket. And even with the 7-3 guy, Roxy, we always said, go at his chest. If he blocks it out of bounds, big deal. But if we can pick up a foul or 2 on him, and he's out of the game. So I'd want to see them attack the basket off the drive.
Here's the pull-up. And that's way off from Brock Harding, and Michigan has it again.
See, Punch has to touch it.
Cadeau weaving his way down the lane. Shot blocked back the other way. Micah Robinson for the Horned Frogs. And 1 for Micah Robinson.
That is a great piece of officiating by Tommy Johnson. There was a foul out top, but the ball handler kept the ball. so he didn't take away his chance to score. I want you to watch this now. There's a foul right here, but he lets it go, and the new rule, continuation. Finish it, you got one step after the dribble. Excellent job. Texas Tech's got a terrific team. We'll see them a lot in the Big 12 this year.
A couple other key games coming up later, of course, after us. Arizona State hosting Gonzaga. And it's great to see Arizona playing UCLA. That's a great game for college basketball, too.
Without a question. Yeah.
TCU is seesawed back in front. Cadeau lost it, diving on the floor. Ball is loose, and it's picked up by David Punch, and a foul on Michigan. And now, officials, you see Doug Sherman's coming in to help out Edwin Young. The teams need to be separated briefly.
What's happened for Michigan is they decided to go small with 4 guards. It's the first time we've seen that tonight. Maybe trying to spread this defense out, and they still turned it over. Of course, TCU small with Lomoviches at the 4. But back and forth right now, a little chess match going on.
1-1 for TCU. As they are now in the bonus. And it's David Punch shooting the 1-1. The Michigan foul was called. It's the second on Elliot Cadeau. Punch 1 for 2 from the line. 6'7" sophomore. Double figures in each of the first 3 games for Jamie Dixon this season. He's been slow to get going tonight. Now just 1 for 3 from the line. When you miss the front end of a 1-1, that's a killer.
It's an invisible turnover. See the 4-guard offense now. They'll try to spread it around.
Roddy Gale Jr. gets in the paint. Loose ball. Here comes Latoris Lelovicius for TCU.
Thank you. Lelovicius.
See, I had all last season to practice when he was at Oregon State.
Got to go at the guy. Got to go at the big guy there. You can't fade away. See, if you're Robinson, you pump fake. When he jumps, you jump right through his chest.
A steal. Here comes Brock Harding. Glides in. Harding with 6, and the lead is 3 for the Frogs. Roddy Gale Jr. whips it over to L.J. Kaysen. 3!
Big shot by the sophomore. Originally scheduled to go to FAU with his coach, he followed him to Ann Arbor.
And the first made 3 for Kaysen on the season. And it ties the game, approaching 2 minutes left in the half. Stepping in, and the long 2 from Tanner Toolson. He's got 7 to lead TCU.
Brock Harding knows a little bit about Michigan, the former Hawkeye.
Roddy Gale Jr., the step through. Can't get the reverse, and Brock Harding grabs it. The flyby, moving in, Lelovicius. Off the window, Latoris Lelovicius.
That's how you attack the big fella. Go at his chest.
Trey McKinney, 3! And a foul after the made basket. It's on Michigan as Latoris Lelovicius was knocked down.
Good ball movement. It was Mara out of the double team. I think McKinney, the freshman, might be the best shooter on this team. Great stroke. Good ball movement by Roddy Gale Jr.
The foul is on Will Cheddar. And Lelovicius back at the other end will shoot a 1-and-1 for TCU.
I don't think he's missed a free throw this season.
He's 6 for 6. You aware that, Jinx, that people will blame us for if he does miss?
He's Lithuanian. They don't miss free throws, okay?
Last year, averaged 9 points a game for Wayne Tinkle at Oregon State. His first year here at TCU after a year up in Corvallis.
You know, Michael Ratai is down at Baylor starting.
Here was the foul again. What happened and why Lelavicius ended up at the line, as he was thrown down by Will Cheddar.
Wasn't much, really. They were tangled. And not much, but enough to call.
Lelavicius, the reputation of being a lights-out shooter, off to a slow start with TCU.
By the way, our guy up at Oklahoma State, they've got 3 former Oregon State Beavers that are starting in the Big 12. Our big guy from Iran, Pasha. How about that? Wayne Tinkle.
He got hurt by the portal.
Yes, he did.
And Lelavicius here, Ratai, Parsifala at Oklahoma State.
There wasn't much in the cash register.
Final minute of the first half.
Good effort. They do a great job on those ball screens.
LJ Kaysen.
Oh, nice.
Tipped in a dime Mara for Michigan.
Nicely done by the 7'3" Mara. You could go 2 for 1. It's probably too late now. Got to get it up around 42. Got to shoot that.
Jaden Pierre, 3. Second 3 for Pierre.
Obviously, if you're Michigan, you'd want to hold for 1, unless you can get a layup.
At a 2-second differential. And a timeout by Michigan. 15 on the shot clock, 17 left in the half. And Michigan and Dusty May will take that use it or lose it timeout.
Honestly, Rox, I did not expect this. I'm a Michigan fan. I think they're a team that could go to the Final Four. But we also said, and we got this from Dusty May last night at the hotel, they've got talent, but they don't have an identity yet. And the one thing that their identity is right now, which is not good, is the turnover. That has to be corrected.
And for TCU, it seems Jamie Dixon is creating that identity on the defensive end, and it's showing tonight, forcing 11 first-half turnovers.
Go back to his days at Pittsburgh and his 9 years here. And that is a Jamie, you've seen a Jamie Dixon team in this first basically 20 minutes.
Again, 15 to shoot for Michigan. TCU is led by as many as 8 here in the first half. Against number 6 Michigan. It's the highest ranked non-conference opponent to come to Fort Worth in 22 years. Since then number 1 Kansas, of course, they were not in the same conference at the time.
Yeah, 22 years, that would have been a team that had, that might have been the Final Four team. Wow.
Deflected by Brock Harding. LJ Kaysen, 3 to shoot. Kaysen drives to the bucket. The runner goes for Kaysen.
Big shot.
And that'll take us to halftime. Closing the first half, LJ Kaysen knifing down the lane.
That was great defense by TCU. They almost stole it a couple times, but the sophomore put his head down and went right to the rim. There's no rim protection with this small TCU team, so the sophomore got right to the rim. That's a big basket. And Michigan goes to the locker room, not having played well, Rox, but only down 2.
Despite the 11 turnovers by the Wolverines, a 2-point game. TCU has a lead at the half on number 6 Michigan. As we go to Kevin Connors in the studio. Eight points from Yaxel Lendeborg lead all scorers in the game for number 6 Michigan. It'll be a TCU ball to start the second half. Look, we know that Dusty May more than likely addressed the turnovers at halftime.
Yeah.
What other adjustments do you think Michigan needed to make?
I think they've got to continue to play inside out, but you got to remember TCU's doubling, so Mara particularly has got to be really alert. He's not as alert as he was against Wake Forest when he was dropping dimes all over the place.
He had double-doubles in each of the first 2 games. That equals his total from his 2 years at UCLA. Shot clock approaching 5. David Punch.
Now you got to go to the basket. See, it's not a good possession.
And the block for a dime. Mara creates a shot clock violation and a turnover by the Frog.
I said this earlier, Roxy, when you've got a big guy in the lane, and he's not a physical player, Mara, you have to attack him. You can't play east-west against this defense. They've got athletes on the perimeter. That's a great first possession by Michigan. Big lineup for the Wolverines.
Here's Elliot Cadeau going inside. Now the kick. Yaxel Lindeborg moves in. Underneath, shovels it to Morez Johnson, and we've got a wedgie. And the arrow belongs to the Wolverines, and they'll put 20 on the shot clock since it hit the rim.
Yes. Nice little high-low right here. Good defense by TCU. Remember, Edmonds has 2, Layla Vicious has 2. And as I mentioned in the first half, Edmonds must stay on the floor. Doesn't need to gamble. And that's what he did.
Mara, and it goes off the backboard. Pulling it down is Xavier Edmonds for TCU.
The junior college transfer must be on the floor for TCU to win.
Just 2 points in the first half for Edmonds. And an errant pass thrown away by Jaden Pierre. Here comes Amari Burnett for Michigan. Bowls his way to the basket, and we're tied.
You see what Gale does, what Kason does, what Burnett does? They go right to your body.
Here's Brock Harding into the key. Xavier Edmonds from deep. Too strong on the 3. And there is Morez Johnson Jr. for Michigan.
The arena's quiet. Michigan has a chance to really make a run right now.
Elliot Cadeau turns the corner, and a steal. Brock Harding for the Frogs. Harding, a pull-up 3.
You know what we call that? Points off turnover. 3 more for the Frogs.
9 for Harding. And that's 5 threes for TCU tonight. Here's Elliot Cadeau. The lob for a dime, Mara, and swiping it away. Jaden Pierre, the smallest guy on the court. Over the top. And it spins out for David Punch, who had a really good look.
I'll tell you what he did. He actually didn't, because he took his eyes off the basket. When he shot that, he wasn't looking at the rim.
And one, the reverse. Namari Burnett for Michigan.
And what I love that Michigan's doing, especially the guards, is they are playing like linebackers. Watch the drive and the toughness here by Burnett. He's going at that TCU defense. They don't have shot blockers. And he is not babying that ball to the rim.
Third foul on Latoris Lelavicius. And Burnett for an and 1 free throw.
Now, when you said he got a good look, he really did get a good look. I wasn't trying to. I just know he missed it because he took his eyes.
But his eyes, he looked off.
Exactly, yeah.
Here is Burnett going to the line. And you were talking about the USA team earlier.
Yep.
With Morez Johnson. Burnett has international experience as well with Team USA.
3x3.
Yeah.
He's a gold medalist at the under-18 3x3s. I know a little bit about that.
He went and won gold in Mongolia.
Listen, our teams have traveled. That's a big one. 32 hours, in case you're wondering. If you're thinking of going to Ulaanbaatar, the capital,
it wasn't on my bucket list.
No, I know that.
Believe it or not.
But it is 32 hours. They love their basketball.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
Mike Sharp jumps.
Yeah, he's at South Carolina this year.
4 schools in 4 years. Underneath,
that's
and
it.
Up and in. Xavier Edmonds for TCU.
I keep telling you, you have to go at them inside. And a good job. I'd love to see Punch play tougher.
Backdoors, Cadeau.
Nice.
Good interior passing, and Morez Johnson Jr. lays it in. And then losing his shoe in the process was Roddy Gale Jr.
You know, that's the 3rd time tonight that Roddy Gale has driven baseline and found the open big who's going to go right to the circle. Watch Merez Johnson. You're taught on a baseline drive, go to the top of the smile. And a great job by Merez. You know, we mentioned Merez, right? USA Basketball. He did not want to play on the under-19 team. The trials were in June. He had already gotten to Ann Arbor, felt he was making great progress with the coaching staff. Sean Ford, who's basically the GM of USA Basketball, showed him a chart. 64% of the under-19 players on the teams the last 8 times they had that tournament were drafted in the NBA, 46 in the first round. He played, he helped himself in terms of his pro future.
Tanner Toolson across the key and throws up a wild shot pulled down by Merez Johnson Jr. Attacking in transition. Going hard to the basket, the miss from Roddy Gale Jr. And it goes out of bounds, Michigan ball. And then after the play, a technical's been called on Michigan.
Now, Jamie Dixon is trying to find out whether he should challenge this. So they're looking at it behind the bench.
In the new rule in college basketball this year, you get one challenge similar to the NBA.
Yep.
As long as you have a legal timeout. And Jamie Dixon may want to challenge this.
But he's got to tell the officials before the end of this timeout. Okay. Hey, do you have a graphic for challenges, Evan? Okay. You might want to put it up. There you go. And let's remind people what they can challenge, Rox.
Okay.
Okay? I think what they can challenge.
So a lot happened during that last sequence. A technical foul was called on Merez Johnson Jr. of Michigan. And the ruling on the floor was out of bounds to Michigan. That has been challenged by TCU, taking advantage of the new rules in college basketball, and our officiating crew is reviewing it.
Yes, they are. No longer can an official look at an out-of-bounds play unless it comes off of a coach's challenge. So let's listen to the call from the great Doug Sermons.
The call on the floor was out of bounds off TCU Michigan ball. That call was challenged by TCU's coach. After review, that call was reversed. It'll be TCU's ball.
Okay.
Following the out of bounds, we had a Class A technical foul on number 21 for Michigan. TCU would shoot 2 free throws and get the ball on the end line where it went out of bounds.
Okay. The key part here, the key part here, as you watch first the out of bounds and then watch Merez Johnson. He's number 21, and there's a scrum. Watch 21, and he pushes the TCU player. Now, here's the other good news for TCU. They do not lose a timeout, and they still have 1 challenge left.
And they will shoot free throws. Micah Robinson will shoot the technicals charge to Merez Johnson Jr., who shoved Xavier Edmonds right there out of bounds. And 1 more for Micah Robinson, who is a 90% foul shooter on the young season. He's 2 for 2 tonight. And now 3 for 3. And it will be a TCU ball.
That's right. Point of interruption, which means they'll take it out down on that baseline. And so everything worked out famously for the Frogs on that 1 possession.
Balanced scoring for TCU. 8 now for Robinson. Brock Harding leads TCU with 9. Axel Lendeborg is yet to score in the second half. He has 8 to lead Michigan.
Michigan switches at all 5 spots. That means that you got the big fellas out on the perimeter.
5 to shoot, and a wild pass by Edmonds, and a foul. It's the 3rd on Elliot Cadeau.
Tanner Tucson was trying to get loose, and Cadeau just grabbed him. And Wolverines right now are losing their poise just a little bit. They'll get it back, but this last couple minutes has not been something that Dusty May was looking for out of halftime.
And now Cole Cadeau with the 3 fouls as he sends in the freshman, Trey McKinney.
It's getting chippy, and here comes Edwin Young. He said, I've had enough. And he didn't call a foul on either Mark Burnett and Pierre. He just said, I've had enough, guys. Hey, that's what we want. Chippy.
Here's Harding. Gets into the lane. Way out there, the flyby. Brock Harding lines it up. Had a good look. And the rebound tip free. Harding dives for it. Out of bounds. It belongs to Michigan.
Rocks, Chippy is good. Chippy is fun. Both of these teams battling right now.
It is a great sign when teams are competing that hard. Shows you how badly they want it. They're not malicious.
No.
It's just physical, and guys are bringing it tonight.
Yeah, and I honestly thought Michigan would have an upper hand throughout this game, but give TCU credit. They have really battled. And for Dusty May, he's finding out about his team on the road.
First true road test. They played a quote-unquote neutral site game in downtown Detroit the other night against Wake Forest. After opening at home, the offensive rebound and the putback falls off. Merez Johnson Jr. stripped off of Merez Johnson Jr. We're going the other way. It belongs to TCU.
One thing that's happening now is Merez Johnson Jr. is dominating the glass. He's got to finish it, but I love his energy, and so does Dusty May.
3-point lead for the Frogs. They led by as many as 8 in the first half. Michigan is not led by more than 3 tonight. Entry pass down low. David Punch on the block. Bulldozing his way in, and he traveled. An extra step and a turnover as David Punch walked.
Good job, Merez Johnson just held his ground. David was trying to footwork his way through Johnson, but the officials had him for a travel. Good defense. I'd like to see Punch continue to go inside. He's been somewhat of a non-factor tonight, but that's in part because of that aggressive Michigan front line. And
And the way TCU, Fran, has defended tonight, they have not let Michigan establish a rhythm offensively.
They have not. And that's common for a Jamie Dixon team. As we said, that's another turnover. That is just, you cannot do this. You cannot do this if you are going to be a team that wants to go deep in the tournament. But it is November. It is November, and this again, but this is a bugaboo from last season.
17 Michigan turnovers tonight. In almost 26 minutes. And a carry is called on Jaden Pierre, and the Frogs give it right back.
17 turnovers, and they're only down 3.
TCU shooting under 40%, but so is Michigan tonight. And the Wolverines have dominated the glass. That's why it's such a tight game with all those turnovers. Wild shot thrown up by L.J. Kaysen. Here comes TCU, and poked away from behind. The hustle by Roddy Gale Jr. knocks it out of bounds at TCU ball.
Jace Posey, he knows something about good basketball. His dad, James, 2-time NBA champion.
12 years in the NBA for James Posey.
Jace is a glue guy, man. He is a tough, hard-nosed kid.
Won a title with the Heat and also the Celtics.
Yep. Yeah, I think if you're Jaden Pierre, you got the big guy on you. You got to try to take him off the dribble.
They get it. David Punch, inside 5 to shoot. Posey launches from deep. Fouled on a 3. And that's the 3rd on Yaxel Lendeboer.
It's not an IQ play you want. You got a bad shot coming up. The clock is running down, and you don't want to do anything to bail the shooter out. This is just not a smart play by Lendeboer. He's a 6-year guy. He's got to know better.
And also, you lunge at a guy who's not necessarily known as an outside
he's not.
shooter.
Totally.
3 shots for Jace Posey. And the first one rolls in, his first point of the night. And still 2 more for Posey. Mention his athleticism, that he competes in the high jump for the TCU track and field team. He finished 3rd in the Big 12 last year.
And, you know, part-time jumper. I think he showed up like a week before in the state Big 12 tournament. Comes from a great program in Houston, straight Jesuit. Coach Dom Amorosa down there does a tremendous job with those young people.
Lendeboer will sit with the 3 fouls and 13-19 to go. Largest lead of the second half right now for TCU. And the 3rd one, Posey didn't anticipate 3. He was just planning for 2.
He didn't realize he had 3. He thought he was done after 2.
Five-point lead for the Frogs. Here's Roddy Gale Jr. Pass inside. The freshman McKinney drops it back to Gale, who lays it in.
Oh, good basketball. Roddy Gale almost dropped another dime on the baseline. It got loose, but McKinney cleaned it up.
Jaden Pierre in the bucket. That ball's knocked away out of bounds. Will stay at this end with TCU.
We got a street fight here, don't we? This is fun.
This will serve both teams so well. When TCU gets into the gut to the Big 12 and when Michigan gets into the Big 10, a game like tonight, early in the season, will pay huge dividends come January and February.
You know what I love, Roxy? Not only that this is a great non-conference matchup, but it's on a home court. It's not a neutral site. It's a road. Look at Mara now. A lot of teams are doing this. Look at Mara guarding Harding now. A lot of teams are doing this. They take the center and they just put him on the inbounder. And look at Harding. He can't find anybody.
And Mara deflects it out.
This has become the new rage in college basketball. Take your biggest guy. Tommy Lloyd did this last year with Henry Vasar. See it around college basketball. What you got to do here, if you can get it in quickly and get it back to Harding with Mara guarding him, you have a little bit of a driving mismatch.
There's a little bit of a clock issue, and that's why they're holding up play. Trying to get it corrected is Tommy Johnson.
This is precarious for TCU. Look at Mara.
And they're going to put some time back on the shot clock. And it needs to go to, there they go. They got it to 13 now. That's where it needed to go back.
I'd have to call timeout.
It comes in, David Punch. Micah Robinson penetrates. Punch in the offensive glass and a putback.
Robinson's drive brought the defense to him. That allowed Punch to get free. The question I have for you in terms of Michigan is who's the go-to guy right now? Who is the guy that can get you a bucket? I'm not sure right now. Maybe it's this guy because he plays tough.
Up and under, and the floater from Roddy Gale Jr.
The veteran. He's the veteran, and he doesn't shy away from contact. Great job by Roddy Gale Jr.
He has 8, tying for the team lead, along with Landeborg, who's on the bench with 3 fouls. Tanner Toolson, 3!
Good job by Harding. Kasem turned his back on Toolson.
Toolson, a second-team All-WAC performer at Utah Valley last year, hit the second most threes in the WAC. Rims out for Will Cheddar. TCU controls. Brock Harding. The floater by Harding rattles out. And the rebound batted free and picked up by Adai for Michigan.
Keep an eye on Gale. He's going to the rim.
Knocked away, but a reach-in foul on Brock Harding. He got the ball, but he also got the wrist. And a foul. It's the first on Brock Harding. Inside 11 to go. TCU up 6 on number 6 in Fort Worth. He must know somebody to get seats like that.
He's a royalty, my friend. You know what? When you're a great football player at a place like TCU or Michigan, you are royalty. And he certainly is.
6-point lead for the Frogs. Inside 11 to go against number 6 Michigan. As powering his way to the bucket and the roll, Roddy Gale Jr. again for the Wolverines.
So that's the guy. He's going to put his head down and get to the rim, and he's done it well.
Going to the rim, Adai blocks the shot of Micah Robinson.
You know what? I like it. Go at him again.
Xavier Edmonds down low. And he traveled before the pass to Tanner Toolson.
Let's go back and watch that last block. Take a look. Mara. Now that's a block. And the travel call was what we call a spook. And a spook is that Edmonds traveled because Mara was in the vicinity. He got spooked.
You know when he's there.
Yes, so on one play, he had a block and a spook.
Second block for Mara tonight. And Mara traveled. 18 Michigan turnovers now.
Well, Adai was very comfortable against Wake Forest playing out on the perimeter. But tonight, he's playing in a tuxedo. And you can't do that against TCU. They're in his grill and he's having trouble.
Doesn't have as much room to operate tonight.
Absolutely not.
Just past the midway point of the second half.
That's another spook. See that? Robinson needed to go to the rim. They're not going to get a good shot off.
Stepping out, Xavier Edmonds launching a 3. And the rebound grabbed by Will Cheddar for the Wolverines.
Good defense right there by the Wolverines.
And a whistle away from the ball, and it's a double foul. Adai called for a foul, his first. and that's the third on Xavier Edmonds of TCU.
They were jostling. Take a look at both of them right here. Both hanging on to each other, so Doug Sermons calls him for a double foul.
So the double foul with 9:38 to go. Edmonds picks up his third. And speaking of three, Elliot Cadeau and Yaxel Lindebord from Michigan, 3 fouls apiece, check back in for Dusty May. On the drive, coming over the help from David Punch, who swats it out of bounds.
We talked about the shot blocking of Michigan, and you see David Punch. He's got a 7+ wingspan for a 6'8" guy. See, Edmonds has got to be judicious now with his pressure, because he's got 3 and he needs to stay on the floor.
5 to shoot, Elliot Cadeau. And that's another Michigan giveaway.
The bad news is they turn it over a lot. The good news is you know what you have to improve on if you're going to be at the top of the Big Ten.
That's hoping that Dusty May can solve the problem of the turnovers, which became, as you talked about, a big issue for them a year ago. As the floater missed by Brock Harding and the rebound grab by Yaxel Lindebord for Michigan. It was a great season, 27 wins, Sweet 16 in Dusty May's first year in Ann Arbor. And a foul is called on TCU, and it's on David Punch, his second.
Well, you saw what Yax can do, because he grabbed the rebound at 6'8" and can handle the ball in the open court, and got himself a chance to get fouled.
Michigan last year, who won the Big Ten tournament, and then won 2 rounds. They beat UC San Diego and Texas A&M, and then had a 9-point lead on Auburn in the second half before losing to Bruce Pearl and Auburn in that Sweet 16 matchup. And you know that haunted Michigan and Dusty May the entire offseason.
Well, he's going to build a monster program at Michigan, there's no question. Nice pass.
Mara rams it home.
He did a great job of sealing the defender to the inside, and Yaxel Lindebord threw the pass away from the defense to the corner of the backboard. Perfectly executed.
Michigan has cut it to 2. Down the lane. And there is another spook
Yes, it
from
was.
Mara as Xavier Edmonds shied away.
Not a shot block, that's a foul, and that's a dumb play.
And the 4th on Edmonds with 8:09 to go.
Let's go back and watch this great post feed by Lindebord. You see Mara is sealing the defender to the inside, and the pass goes away from the defender to the corner of the backboard. Of course, that's a great target. But Xavier Edmonds, I told you, Roxy, from the very beginning, he must stay on the floor. And in junior college, where he was a great player at Salt Lake Community College, they're not going to foul him out. They're not. But here, you can't play that way. Now he hurts his team.
He's got to sit for the next little while as TCU clings to a 2-point lead. Just saving it was Yaxel Lindebord.
Dusty May's going to need heart pills this year.
The floater, and too strong from Roddy Gale Jr., but kept alive by Michigan.
Good tip out by Marez Johnson. Look at this, look at this.
And a steal from Micah Robinson, and TCU swipes it away. Jaden Pierre blocked by Marez Johnson Jr., and a foul is called on TCU. 7:31 to go. Number 6 Michigan getting all they can handle for the Frogs. TCU up 2 at Fort Worth.
And I'm the president of this guy's fan club, Marez Johnson. He's only got 4 points. He might be the Wolverines' most important player this year. He and Cadeau. And this is a deep team. They are in a battle right now.
49-47 Horned Frogs, 7:31 to go. Team fouls, Michigan has committed 5. TCU 6 in personal foul problems. Xavier Edmonds on the Frogs bench right now with 4. As Roddy Gale Jr. drives, finds the freshman in the corner, and the follow by Axel Lendeborg off the miss from Trey McKinney.
That is a great set play because Dusty May set up the drive by Gale and either the finish or the kick out, and that kick out allowed an offensive rebound. That was by design to open up that baseline drive. Well done.
Game approaching 7 minutes to go. In the lane, way off from David Punch, kept alive by the Frogs.
You said it, Roxy, during the break. TCU's got to find some offense.
For the bucket and the block shot. Axel Lendeborg coming over, denying Jaden Pierre. 8 on the shot clock.
Watch this set play now. Watch the pass, the drive, isolation, kick, good shot, crash the glass, offensive rebound basket. All by design. Roddy Gale is impossible to keep out of the lane. I love the way he plays.
Michigan is a plus 17 on the glass tonight.
Good cut.
Down the lane, Latoris Lelavicius for TCU.
Defense fell asleep right there. Lelavicius was hanging out at midcourt and just made a great cut.
Down the lane, in the lane, and fouled him +1. Trey McKinney cutting to the goal.
Great pass. It was a double team. Watch Lelavicius come over, and Lendeborg found the cutter. See, that's good basketball too. Baseline drive. We call this a burn cut. When you're out on the wing and there's a drive, you cut to the basket, and that's what Trey McKinney was taught to do. A great finish. Great pass by Lendeborg.
Third on Micah Robinson. And now Trey McKinney trying to give Michigan their first lead of the second half. It's 2 for 2 for the line tonight. And McKinney puts Michigan up 1.
Michigan is at an advantage now because TCU does not score easily. Lendeborg on the point guard, but he'll switch once there's a ball screen.
Harding. Then to shoot for the Frogs. Latoris Lelavicius had a good look at a 3 and the rebound. Morez Johnson Jr. for Michigan. Johnson to the basket. And Morez Johnson Jr. puts Michigan up 3.
It's another terrific look by Lendeborg.
Jamie Dixon uses a timeout. 5:37 to go, and the Wolverines have really put the clamps down on TCU. Domination inside. The turnovers have been their issue. They've committed 20, but they have really flexed their muscle in the paint.
Nice see zone here. Little 1-1-3 zone coming out of the timeout. Let's see if TCU recognizes that they do. You got to shoot that open 3 because you may not get another one. Nice
Cut
pass.
it down the lane, and the scoop left short by David Punch, and it's tipped out to Jaden Pierre. In the corner, too strong from Micah Robinson to the rebound. Michigan, here comes Roddy Gale Jr. Axel Lendeborg bulldozes his way in the baseline, and the rebound tipped out to Michigan. Corner 3, and the freshman Trey McKinney.
He's money. He's their best outside shooter, in my opinion.
He leads the Wolverines with 11. Largest lead of the night for Michigan as Brock Harding darts to the basket. At what point does Jamie Dixon bring Xavier Edmonds back with the 4
Sooner
fouls?
than later. Sooner than later. They need his scoring is what they need.
Morez Johnson Jr. Elliot Cadeau thought about it. Drives, Cadeau, and the rebound tipped around, and TCU has it, and here comes Brock Harding.
Nice pass.
Deflected out by Trey McKinney. TCU ball in the corner.
Robinson just dropped it. A great dime by Harding. on the back cut, and here comes our guy. Edmonds gives him some offense. Now you throw caution to the wind if you're TCU. No reason to save him. And mind changes right here. Let's see if Michigan goes zone. It looks like man-to-man. Who's going to guard Harding? They're going to put a big guy on him. They will. Look at Mara. It's amazing.
And a foul on Michigan, and it's a push on Damari Burnett. And that is team foul number 6 on the Wolverines. 3:58 to go. Jamie not quite there. This was during the timeout. David Punch was getting treatment. A massage gun on his calf. May have tweaked something. Last trip down to the other end.
The guy I think can get you a basket or a good shot is Robinson. He's got it right now.
In the lane. Left it short. Adai Mara grabs it for Michigan.
Did he block it, Rob?
And Xavier Edmonds is down back at the other end.
They got to play on. They got an advantage.
Here is Mara.
Oh,
and
my
he throws
goodness.
it right to Edmonds, who's coming back. Ahead for Harding, and TCU turns it over.
Great opportunity. What you do right there if you're Edmonds is you stop, you jump stop, you pick it up, then you throw it. He tried to spin and pass it, and that's a big, big chance for TCU to cut into that 4-point lead. He's shaken up from that previous play, you can tell.
As David Punch did return for the Frogs. 3:29 to go. Michigan up 57-53 on TCU.
Well, we see the Jekyll and Hyde tonight of Adai Mara, excuse me, that we saw at UCLA. Ineffective tonight because of the pressure.
To shoot for Michigan. Yaxel Lindebor down low. Morez Johnson Jr. leans in off the window.
He's been the best player on the floor tonight, and he doesn't even have a lot of points. He's dominated the game with his energy.
Chase Posey penetrates.
Push off, got away with it.
And a whistle. And Punch appears to be shaken up. As Doug Sermon stopping play briefly. 14 on the shot clock, 2:42 to go, and the Frogs in desperate need of points.
You look at David Punch, he looks like he's been in a 15-round fight right now. He's bending over. You and I said this throughout this game, as poorly as Michigan has played with the turnovers, that they have enough grit and toughness to be able to come on the road and maybe close this out. Another learning lesson for a team with so many newcomers.
Despite the 21 turnovers, Micah Robinson drives, leans in, foul will get to the line.
The ball's got to be in Micah Robinson's hands because number one, he shoots the three, and number two, he is not afraid to take it at the defense inside. And add to that, he's a great foul shooter.
Third foul of Morez Johnson Jr. Micah Robinson 3 for 3 at the line tonight. And the first one rolls in for Robinson. He's got 9. Brock Harding leads TCU with 11. Tanner Toolson 10. While Trey McKinney leads Michigan with 11. 10 each for Roddy Gale Jr. and Yaxel Lindebor.
It's been that kind of game. There hasn't been one guy that's just taken over offensively. He misses.
And the rebound, there is Morez Johnson Jr. for the Wolverines.
I love his energy, man. You know why Dusty May wanted him on his roster. There's another great play.
And he cleans it up, Perez Johnson Jr.
It's the second time they created an island for Roddy Gale Jr. to catch, rip and go, and it's the second time they've scored off an offensive rebound on that play.
Largest lead for Michigan.
Well designed, Rocks, by design.
Tanner Toolson rattles out, had a clean look, and the rebound, Perez Johnson Jr. 12 rebounds tonight.
That was a great shot by Tanner Toolson, just couldn't get it to go.
Trey McKinney rattles out the three, and the rebound grabbed by Micah Robinson for the Frogs.
TCU's got to play quick now.
Here he is, Robinson, trail three. Timeout, TCU.
He is an athletic monster inside. This is a reason why he was only a bit player last year at Illinois as a freshman. But the interesting thing is he doesn't turn 20 till I think January. So he's still a young player. But the energy level, the toughness, the grit, he's been a big difference in the game. He's cleaned up a lot of missed shots. And this is a good opportunity for Michigan to go on the road, in my mind, play poorly and still be tough enough to come away with a win in a conference-like game in mid-November.
Dusty May's team up 4 with the ball. 96 seconds remain, despite the 21 turnovers, but they have out-rebounded TCU by 21.
Yeah, but if you're TCU right now, you need one good possession of defense, get a stop and a defensive rebound. And then you got to have a comeback offense. By that I mean you have to play quickly now.
Down low, Perez Johnson Jr. Blows it at the rim. Saved by Toolson. Loose ball right to Michigan. Yaxel Lendeborg is fouled.
You can't blame Toolson. You know, the rule is never save it underneath the opponent's basket. If you could have done it again, maybe you just throw it out up in the air towards midcourt. But Tanner was just trying to make a play, and in over-hustling, he gives Michigan a chance to get to the free throw line.
Yaxel Lendeborg, 1 for 1 from the line tonight. 3 for 4 on the season. And the first of 2. And the foul was called on Micah Robinson. He's got 4. He's playing with 4. Xavier Edmonds has 4 for TCU. Michigan by 6.
Got to play a little quickly here. If you could run a play for a quick 3, that would be great.
Foul and 1. Brock Harding.
But you'll take that. I think this is easily the best game that the Iowa transfer has played. He has really run the show tonight. Early games this season, he hasn't looked for his offense, and TCU was playing 4 on 5. He's got to be this aggressive because the more he goes to the basket, the easier his passing opportunities are going to be.
4th foul on Perez Johnson Jr. As Harding, who led TCU in assists in each of their first 3 games, leads them in scoring tonight with 13. Misses the free throw, but kept alive by the Frogs. Jaden Pierre to the bucket. TCU is out of timeouts.
Don't need to foul here. They need a stop. Dusty May's got 3 timeouts in his back pocket. Not going to use them yet.
On a tie-up, it belongs to TCU. Inside 10 to shoot.
That's a push-off.
And an offensive foul, Elliot Cadeau. Number 4 on Cadeau.
Great defense. Watch the left arm. Easy call for Edwin Young.
All right, Fran, you got 36.4 to go. Down 2, you're TCU. How do you handle this offensively?
The guy that I want to have the ball is Micah Robinson. And we're not holding it for the last shot because we're down 2. First good look, go, and then crash the offensive glass.
There goes Harding. Toulson the pull-up. Left it short, kept alive by the Frogs and stripped. Rose right to Namari Burnett for Michigan and a foul.
Man, Toulson almost knocked it loose. Great look by Toulson, just couldn't get it to go.
And Micah Robinson is fouled out.
Watch this look by Tanner Toulson right here. Who gets that rebound? I think they just lost the ball. And a quick foul.
And it's team foul number 8. Rather, number 9 on TCU. It's still a 1-and-1 for Michigan with 18.3 to go.
Rox, I don't think Namari Burnett shot a free throw this year. Has he?
He shot 1 tonight.
1 tonight.
And he is 0 for 1.
Yep. Came into tonight, no free throws. A little bit of pressure now. This is a guy they love on that coaching staff. We describe him, or Bo Schembechler would say, he's a Michigan man. 3rd year in the program.
Here is Burnett, 6 points tonight. A 1-and-1 with the Wolverines up 2. And again, TCU, no timeouts. Plumlee hits the first.
Yep.
Still needs the second to make it a 2-possession game.
I like what Morez Johnson just did. Oh yeah, good gamesmanship. He went to the other side so he could get Lelavichus, and then Edmonds walked over with Johnson. 2 big guys. He's going to try to keep Johnson off the glass. Big time.
And he hits both.
Yep.
And a timeout for Dusty May. Michigan 65, TCU 61, and 2 clutch free throws from Namari Burnett.
Here's what you got right now if you're TCU. You can take it to the basket, try to score quickly, and cut it to 2. If you're Michigan, you don't want to foul, but you do have shot blockers, so you got a chance to contest at the rim.
Binder coming up next, and from the desert, number 19 Gonzaga and Arizona State. A good showdown out west.
If you cut it to 2, Roxy, then you press, try to steal it quickly, and foul right away.
And the next foul committed by TCU will put Michigan into the double bonus.
Right.
There's your reset, the personal foul problems. Micah Robinson is fouled out for Jamie Dixon. Xavier Edmonds has 4, while for Michigan, Elliot Cadeau and Morez Johnson Jr. 4 each.
Yeah, and I think they've got 3 guys they can get to the rim with the basketball. The 2 guards, Pierre and Harding, and Tanner Toulson. Let's see what they got.
Harding drives.
A lot of time.
Tough shot from the corner, way off from Jaden Pierre. Pulled down by Axel Lendeborg. And Michigan, with 7.5 seconds to go, will head to the foul line at the other end of the floor. Look, I know the offense struggled tonight for Michigan, but especially in the second half, Fran, their defense was really tough.
There's no question about it. They have tough guys. I love McKinney. I love Roddy Gale. I love Namari Burnett. Morez Johnson is a man. He's only a sophomore. Lendeborg has been what we think he is, a terrific 2-way guy. And this is another good lesson for Dusty May's team.
2 shots for Lendeborg. And the first one is in.
I'll tell you,
4 for 4 from the line.
and for TCU, a team picked 10th in the Big 12 this year, been really impressed with their toughness tonight.
Yaxel Lindeboard, two-time first-team All-American Conference at UAB, and now in his last year with Michigan. And the bucket and the lay-in goes for Brock Harding. And that'll do it, and Michigan has survived. It was a struggle on the offensive end for them tonight, Fran, but they found a way to get a win on the road.
They are a good basketball team. They got a chance to be a great team. This is a great road win and a great lesson for them.
So number 6 Michigan improves to 3-0, knocking off TCU. For Fran Fraschilla and our ESPN crew, Roxy Bernstein for Fort Worth taking you to Tempe. Here's Mark Neely and Corey Williams with Gonzaga and ASU.